legends.
Welcome to Big D Energy on Woodward Sports.
Featuring four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D Energy.
Yo, welcome back, everybody, to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. It is, what, today? Thursday, right?
Oh, Thursday.
Thursday, absolutely.
Sun's out.
My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there, he's mentally checked out. He's on the golf course already, but he is ready to go. Darren McCarty, D-Mac here, four-time Stanley Cup champion. We have Sam Flannel in the house as well. No Spencer Raxter today, tending to some personal automotive issues. We do have BMG, though, in the fold. Big Mike Gentry of Chomping Puck fame. Last game of the season tonight, Red Wings Lightning. You sad, BMG?
Oh, yeah, I'm a little sad, but you got to be excited for next year. So there's a lot to look forward to. Might be sad of the outcome that comes from tonight because it's probably not going to be too nice, but...
Jump into the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Detroit Dabber, the first one in with the big what up, though. What up, Dabber? Good to have all of you in there. Tammy Chen, good morning. Neal, Darren, Spencer, and Sam. Well, we do have BMG, Tammy, but you didn't know that, of course. But here we are. We are ready to rock, and we are ready to get after it. But, hey, shout out to Spenmo Rax dealing with the automotive issues. Nothing sucks more, D-Mac, than dealing with cars, man. I hate dealing with cars.
I know. I got an appointment. I just learned you had to make an appointment at the Secretary of State, to do all that stuff. It's almost like, shouldn't you be exempt around doing all this stuff around tax season? Isn't that enough? Isn't that enough on your plate? I mean, it's unbelievable. But I'm going to shy away from that, and I just want to say, where was it? To the away fan. I forgot where it is, but I want you to travel around. Mikey, remember how you said this year you want to do be the caddy? We're going to get you a bib and stuff like this. I think the away fan travels around and introduces me on every first tee. On the green, with the greens. You know him, you love him, D-Mac. Let's go. I think that would be awesome. Let's do it. Hey. The away fan, you are in the hopper to get in the truck to go to the tournament if it's done. That was nicely done. So that's all I got to say. I am so on the range right now.
It could be done, too. From Ontario, Canada, Darren McCarty.
Yes, from Livington.
No, we should set it up. Mel_313 says, I want to see Neal and Adam do a draft show one day. Well, one day is in about 2 weeks because we're going to be doing it over at Fifth Avenue in Royal Oak. Yes, Adam and I will be there sharing a microphone together. I'm curious to see it as well, to see how that all shakes out. But we hope you all can make it out there to Fifth Avenue. Stay with the woodwardsports.com website. Details are up there, social media channels, all of it. But we'll be out there. Braylon, Ryan, the final word, they'll have a presence out there as well. You can be out there for that one, D-Mac? You got other stuff up. You'll be out there? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. I'm not going to miss that. I just love the festivities and the cheering, especially this year, to be around. And I love listening to you guys talk like football. You football heads talk football, get into it with the draft, who we want, and stuff like this. I'm there for the people.
You are.
Come on out.
You are. Yeah.
Mikey, I sent you something on your Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll answer a question before the end of the thing.
Dom Rivera 88 had to fix the brakes of one car, then my other car started grinding, so don't have to worry about the brakes in any car for a while now. But that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, too.
It's just such a pain, bro.
Well, I mean, but you have to take care of it. Don't forget anybody out there, too, because, go get your oil changed every 5,000 or it's just these little maintenance things that have to be done, the mundane things of life that we all have to go through. So it's as long as you can take care of, because what's the worst, Neal? It drags on. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, right? Where you're mentioning about taxes. And you know what? This year, they got it. You know what I mean? This year, they got it. But it's over, right? It's over. It's over. The game's over. New game begins.
Yep.
Now it's what you're playing, and now you're going to play the game better this time around.
I feel like you guys skating off the ice after Game 7 against the San Jose Sharks, just what happened. We got to get it together. We got to circle the wagons.
No, I think it was more of getting swept by Jersey.
That too. It's both those feelings rolled into one.
Or Neal, or is it the end all be all after setting the league record 62 wins? And I know somebody out there saying, but Boston just set 63. I don't count it because they count overtime games. So I'm saying in our era, before 1998. But the fact is, Neal, what was I talking about?
Oh, the feeling of walking off the ice. That's a feeling I got out of walking out of my tax specialist.
Was it Colorado?
Yes.
Was it called?
It was all those.
No,
D-Mac, take all those and put them into one.
And I say that because after Jersey or even after San Jose or whatever, we were so young that we were like, man, we'll get back. We're so good. Look at this team. When we lost at 90, like I remember being on the bus against Colorado going, oh my God, we may never even get back to the finals after that just happened. That means you'll never let it happen again.
I will never let it happen again.
So there it is.
Absolutely. And it's driven. Even on last week.
Forever.
Yes, forever.
Hey,
even on the last trip to Lauderdale, the books were kept a little more meticulously. Let's just say it like that.
See, because the game's changed.
The game has changed. You're right.
My advice is it's not about the right or wrong. Figure out the why and then play the game better.
And then play the game. That guy 62. Big D Energy greater than ESPN. All right, we appreciate that. That guy 62 says, I really want to come to that draft show, and good morning, BD fam. Roll out. Everybody roll out.
Everybody roll. It's gonna be an atmosphere.
Yes.
Right? You know what I'm expecting, Neal? I'm expecting it's gonna be like the preview to what it's gonna be like at playoff time for a home game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the vibe of just the electricity. That place is going to be electric with everybody in there.
You brought up a good point opening day when we were downtown. All that, and there was a lot of juice. I was stunned because obviously with this baseball team, which I'm going to talk about again a little bit later on, I didn't do this, guys. They did it.
They almost won.
Don't start, all right? Don't start this now. We're just getting it going. It's a Thursday. I got a weekend off. D-Mac, come on. Don't start, bro.
All right.
Don't start. I got the deck halfway clean.
Fair enough.
I'm going to do the other half.
Fair enough.
And we're gonna get it in Friday night. I got about halfway done. But anyway, we'll get to the Tiger stuff a little bit later. I'm sorry. Don't blame me, everybody. Blame your baseball team. But, as we were talking about it, you brought up a great point on opening day when we were downtown. The juice that we felt was not for the Tigers and was not for opening day. There was a spillover effect of the Lions. You could feel it.
Absolutely.
You could feel it.
It was like a pre-party to football season.
Yes.
Right, of what to expect, and it was cool. People are getting the vibe on, getting the feel. And you know what it was, Neal? Because walking through the city, I felt that way. Even the police and the security and just the transit and the flow of the traffic and everybody else with all the festivities around. It's going to be an atmosphere down there, and it makes sense with everything because what's the biggest event? I mean, there's a lot of big events coming, from concerts to the SummerSlam and stuff.
Yes,
but I consider the next year's NFL draft sort of like the first destination of getting everything prepared, and that's what everything's ready for. But the people are ready to be a part of it, and that's what this Lions team has done. And I think that starts even opening day, even more so. We're gonna feel it even more electric.
Yeah, and people are talking about. See, look, I love it. Somebody said I would rather talk fishing. Prop Deuce said I'd rather talk fishing over Tiger talk. And then the next 6 messages are all about the Tigers and the game last night. I think we have to have a little come to Jesus for everybody. And I think no one anticipated it being 10 or 11 games into the season, but I need it. And it's not going to be a long thing. We're going to do 10 minutes on it, guys. And we can just let it all out. And I think it's time to take stock.
But here's the thing, too, right? And Tammy, who's always on point, right? It says, if it wasn't for the Tigers, it wasn't for the Tigers. It was just happy for everyone to get together, celebrate another sports season starting after COVID. Are we just happy to be back together? Have we lost fact of that we went through COVID? Or is that what we're experiencing more, is the appreciation of being back together? Because I think that's a good point, too. It helps with everything else. And maybe that's what goes to the Tigers' love, where people are like, yeah, okay, well, I mean, didn't know it was going to be this bad, but it is this bad, but we can be together and go down to the ballpark or stuff.
No, I think everybody knew that they were going to stink. But I don't think that people realized it was going to be this bad, like we talked about yesterday. Sam Flannel even walked into it. Like, he's like, oh, well, we'll win games against the Royals. The Royals are your peer, Sam Flannel. They're your peer team. They're
not even your peer team. They got two guys. You just made Salvador Perez and Bobby Witt. That
are better than any two players on your team.
Well, people are probably looking at the Tigers and being like, we're definitely going to win against the Tigers. Those are penciled-in wins at this point, so I get what you're saying. The Tigers have no room to talk about anybody being like an easy win.
Right. That's exactly where I'm at. And that's why I don't think that people realize. Sam Flannel, you in particular. Did I open your eyes at all with that proclamation? Do you agree to some degree?
I mean, here's the thing. I said yesterday that I think Riley Green could end up being as good as Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt Jr. hasn't proven a ton yet, but
that doesn't matter. That's semantics. My point of it is this: you are what you make fun of. That's you.
Okay, but I don't think it's going to be historic. I don't think it's going to be historically bad. I think they'll lose, 98 to 101 games, something like that.
Will you admit to what Neal said?
Fine.
No, not fine.
Yes.
Do you agree with what he says?
Yes.
Okay. You are what you make fun of. That's you. Now, you're always the last to know.
I got self-awareness.
You know what I'm saying, D-Man?
But that's why it's acceptable, because he's committed to his truth. That's his truth until he realizes, oh, crap. Right? And then he might get off it a little or redirect and try to come at it some analytical way.
Never said they were going to be good, just for the record. Those words never were uttered out of my mouth. I just said that they're not going to be historically bad.
No.
Have you changed your tone yet?
I'll tell you what. If they lose a few more in a row, let's see how they play on this next homestand. If they take an L,
because the last homestand went well.
I know, right? If they just blow this next homestand, then maybe we're looking at 2019 all over again, where they won 47. I couldn't imagine that, but it could happen. We'll see.
Did you grab that, Mikey? You asked Michael about Red Wings' last game of the season and whatever the year. A lot of times I talk too much, right? So I thought a pitcher spoke 1,000 words. This is what I had to say at the end of this season. Boom! Keep calm, just was the plan. Glasses, hair, tattoos.
Where did you get that T-shirt?
Background.
I need one of those.
Sandy, I think, sent it.
Did she really?
Sandy. Yeah, exactly.
I have to have one of those.
Too.
Yeah.
That's where it is, guys. That was a progress. We tuned into Chomp and Puck on Saturday. Threw down another episode and talked a little bit about where we were at this season. So, what happened?
WoodwardSports.com chat thread rack. It's the tucked in shirt for me.
It was style because I had to make sure you could read it. You're a dick, right? Well played, sir.
And I'll defend D-Mac. He had
played.
He had a pullover on
you know what? Screw your beer, bud. I'm not going to get it back.
D-Mac, I love the way you tried to fight it for about 3 seconds. And then you're like, all right, I got to take the out.
Well, that's my voice, so I could tease it. Well played.
Oh, man. I do love that shirt, by the way. Well, hey, speaking of the Red Wings, I do want to touch on it. I know the draft's in 2 weeks, guys. We can't do 2 hours of draft talk for 14 days in a row. Or can we? I know a lot of other stations are. I do. I just want to just check in on the Red Wings. D-Mac, you're out tomorrow, right? Or you're here tomorrow. You're out Monday.
I'm out Monday, Tuesday.
Okay, we're going to reset the Red Wings, and we'll look at the offseason. But I do just want to take a segment and look back at it, and then we're done until we look at the offseason, and then that'll be it. I promise. But just want to get everybody's thoughts on how it all broke down and everything like that. But if you have a big project coming up, I know how that can break down.
Well, the big project, because Let's Go Red Wings Sparty knew why I tucked it in, because I got tucked it in because I was bricked up when I was standing up. And you got bricks all over your yard or anything. You need uptime at Alta. Uptime matters. Anything goes down at Alta Equipment. They have everything you need to get the job done. Bog projects, brick projects, whatever you need. Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844 go to Alta. That's 844 go to Alta.
You're about to be shell-shocked. The catch of the day is in. Big Boy Seafood Fest is officially back. Join us for some of your favorites like our popcorn shrimp and pike perch platters and our classic fish and chips. This year, we've reeled in some fresh catches like our shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir fry, and our fish sandwich. And especially, don't forget about our all-you-can-eat Friday night fish fry buffet. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling game. There are 2 ways to play: unlimited open play or a $120 lane reservation for up to 10 people, $2 mystery beer machine, and full bar. Check it out at the Foaling Warehouse or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com.
We are on and pushing Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network on a Thursday. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, BMG, Big Mike Gentry in the stead of Spencer Raxter. He'll be back at it tomorrow.
Hey, first, hey, Rake, you know what? Your sack dropped a little because the old lady's out in California right now, so you're man of the house. Exactly. You know what? She probably gave you that line anyways. Anyway, Johnny Rambo, baby, you drew first blood. You heel turn. You probably gave Bully that beer. You were probably in on it. You and me, bud. See you soon.
WoodwardSports.com
Right.
chat thread. Ryan says, don't tuck your shirt in, bro.
I was bricked up. I had to keep it. I mean, you can't
keep it composed. You can't just be out here freewheeling around.
Here flaunting bricks. Man, you know what? Back in the day when I was laying bricks all the time, it was, it gets you in trouble.
Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast from Woodward Sports.
Not scared.
Yeah.
Get your shirts, Woodward Sports now.
WoodwardSports.com.
313 shirts too.
Yeah. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe there, rate it, review it. Do us all a solid and do that for us if you don't mind. Lions Planet says, please, Red Wings, anything but Tigers. Now, we're going to do it in the second hour. We're going to do that in the second hour. Just one segment, because just when you think they're out of your life. Because, guys, I told you, I'm going to watch every day, because what else are you going to watch? I don't do shows, man. I don't do shows. I did that on the airplane coming back. I started watching Wolf of Wall Street for the 88th time on an airplane. That's what I do, man. I just watch sports and like 4 movies, and that's it. Yeah, no, absolutely. Red Wings tonight, they wrap up the season. They are in Tampa Bay to play the Lightning. However you want to shake it down as you look at the season in review or whatever, I just want to touch base with everyone and see what you thought. I think even the most, I don't want to say Red Wing hater, because I don't think there's a lot of Red Wing haters out there. The non-believer, even the most non-believer, has to say there was improvement. And D-Mac, look, for as animated as I got during the season with some of the players and things like that, I think that you have to admit that there was progress. And the free agency period last year, Steve Yzerman went and made this an NHL team. For the most part, they were an NHL team. They had a veteran presence of guys that played. You knew what you were going to get. You got it from them, and you have to be happy with the progress. Now I know where you're at, and you to give you credit, from the end of last season, you said through next season, then next year's the year. It's playoff time.
Yeah,
those were your words. So next year's playoff time.
Hopefully, we were down.
Did you see enough, D-Mac, to say that's the
I did,
possibility?
And here's the cherry on top. In the last week of the season, you had 5 of Steve Yzerman's first rounders, all of them, in your lineup. Boom. Mic drop. That's what it is. That means progress. That means guys coming up, and that doesn't even include Jonathan Berger and the progress of Sider and Raymond and different things like that. Now, they still need areas to improve, but they showed me enough. And here's the one thing, Neal, and I'm just telling you from a culture locker room, they also went through, like we were talking about earlier and relating losing in the playoffs before we won to your taxes. Dylan Larkin, as the leader, or that whole dressing room, lost an integral part in Tyler Bertuzzi, right? They experienced that emotional loss, which is as you're getting better, you're going to lose guys at different times, and that was the closest one. So the way that after you could see it affected for a few games, but then they bounced back out of it, and I think it's the leadership and the progress enough. I said at the beginning of the year, if the goal was to be last week of the season and you got to win 2 games to get in the playoffs, we were just short of that, right? I think the goal was like 85 points, and we might be able to get 82, but there's a reason for it. There's ways that we got to improve. It'll be interesting, but now this is when Steve Yzerman cooks. We got to see what the next biggest thing is. Where do we fall in the draft? And I think that somebody pointed out in the WoodwardSports.com chat is that if Washington wins tonight, that would put us another percentage towards getting the first pick. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. What's meant to be. At the end of the day, hashtag why is it playing 1919, baby?
And just to give a voice to the people I was talking about, Austin Harris says there was progress, but I'm still extremely disappointed considering he had a wild card spot and just kind of fell apart after that. And that's fair. That's fair to say. And I had those questions too. Don't get me wrong, Austin. I had those questions too. But they did this weird thing where like Steve Yzerman came out and like talked and explained his thought process to it, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can get with that. And his words were, under no circumstances were we considering ourselves a buyer because the project's not finished yet, and that's all I needed to hear, because he's got that juice, right? 19 stands up there and talks, you listen. That's the way that it's always been, and that's why, again. That's why with the Red Wings and where they're at, I will cut them more ice, so to say, than I do with the Tigers. Because he's upfront about it and says, look, I wasn't stepping in. I know everybody, and look, we're going to fight this a lot across all sports where everybody's fans are a pit bull on a leash, right? And you heard the people say, go get this person, go get that person, trade away draft picks, go get this, second line center and stuff like that. Like everybody was just foaming at the mouth. And even I was like, hey guys, easy right here. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Steve Yzerman never for a second thought of that. And that's what made me feel better about it. He's holding the line.
It's like the old military where, they're going to fire the arrows and the general's holding them. He's not shooting it early. He's not waiting. He knows exactly when he wants to fire him. It's Steve Yzerman. That's at the end of the day. There's holes to fill and in progress, but it's all these different things. As you nailed it, Neal. Remember the old E.F. Hutton? That's what we said. Like Steve Yzerman's nickname, Silk, smooth as silk. But we would always joke, okay, Hutton. Like E.F. Hutton, when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. But just listen when he talks because he'll tell you. And that's all I do. And then I look at my little code book that I was raised with all these guys with, and then I decode it a little bit if it needs decoding. So they're right where I thought they need to be, and it's not time to fire those arrows, right? He knows when it's time.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Kevin Donaldson says, can we celebrate that Crosby's getting his golf clubs out already, too? And Kevin, usually I would say no, that's like a Michigan State fan thing. Like that's where they would go. Except in this case, I would sign off on that because, yes, the Penguins are out. And they lost to the Blackhawks at home.
That's the thing that's going to...
I love it.
That's going to... if Sidney Crosby just flares one right and OB or duck hooks one left, that's what he's thinking. We gosh darn lost to Chicago.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Well, hey, nice job, Ron Hextall. You're doing a great job out there with Pittsburgh. I don't know if you're friends with them or not. My apologies if I put you in a bad spot with that.
Ron Hextall?
Yeah.
Wait, what? I don't think he likes me very much.
Yeah, well, the Hextall family has hurt the game of hockey this year. We'll just say it. We'll just say it like that.
Oh, this year. Okay,
yeah.
Not back in '97.
No. This year, the Hextall family hurt the game of hockey. I'll just leave it like that.
Okay.
What was that look for, Sam Flannel?
No, just it's an uncomfortable truth, I would just say.
Okay.
That was what the look was.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
thank you. Yes, it was. Dan G says, how much longer does Yzerman get? Let me ask you that, D-Mac.
Next year's playoffs, like he gets honestly as long as he needs, but he's building, and it depends. Like things could change. Let's see where if we get one of the first 2 draft picks, next year my expectations are playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, I don't care what happens if half the team is hurt, whatever like this. There's no excuses. Playoffs next year, and then you have to give them 2 years
to go
figure
through
out
that
the
playoff
playoffs.
process.
So it's like 4 years to get to the finals, or if you've moved along because you've gotten in the process and added guys, you can speed up quicker. So it's the whole thing, Neal. It's about getting back there and being the foundation to be a playoff team consistently. That's what it is, and to be able to at least get to the conference finals every year. The same mentality that Scotty Bowman instilled in us.
Kenton Hargraves is second. It's almost 5:30 here in Sweden. It's time for me to cook dinner. Thanks for putting this on YouTube. I'd rather get my sports from you guys than other media outlets. Well, Kenton, we appreciate you tapping in all the way from Sweden, by the way. What, making meatballs? No, but we appreciate you tapping in from over there.
Did you shop at IKEA today?
Did ya? Hey, you enjoying that free health care? Detroit Dabber said they would have been eliminated in the first round and had a worse pick had they stayed a wild card team. And look, you guys know where I am with it and everything that goes along. I will do this real quick before we cut to the break. And I wanted to see where everybody was. And it's about what I figured.
And here's the thing. I see that Sue you, and thank you, Sue, for always chiming in. Sherrod, Coppercraft, Stevie needs to get star players and draft a Russian. Here's the thing. It's not about a 1 year with these guys. It's why he signed him a longer-term deal. This is more culture and getting involved. Let's see next year. Yes, a down year, obviously on the ice. A cop coming back from a sport hernia surgery. I've had 3 of them. It takes like a year to figure it out, but it's more about the culture in the locker room. With the cop edition is more for Dylan Larkin to have, a right-hand man. Right, because of the relationship and stuff like that. Like, there's so many different intricacies going on in Ben Sherratt. He's just fine. It's stuff like this until he's not. So it's Steve Yzerman putting it together. I see how he's putting it together, and at the end of the day, he knows best.
Yeah, I mean, and it wasn't like Kopp was dangerously awful compared to his track record as a player. He was around it. You know what I'm saying? I know that he took a lot of heat from some people.
Remember, you still need a 1C, and you know what? If I don't care if it's a Russian, a Swede, a Canadian, a French guy, Japanese guy, whatever it is, add somebody that can put the puck in the net and be that dude. And Stevie knows that.
Yeah, and that's what it is too. The thing, in my opinion, the biggest thing the Red Wings are lacking is what's hardest to get. The dude. Got to have the dude, man. And Stevie Y has a lot of avenues available.
You might fall into it in the bingo balls. You never know.
You never know. Or he can go manufacture.
Got to have faith.
Easy guy. Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This Is the S Word. Helps address the stigma associated with seeking help for your mental health issues. If you're struggling or you know someone that's struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com, the sports marketing agency. They're here to help.
You've heard of Gordon Ramsay. You've heard of Bobby Flay. But Thursday night Master Chef Brad Holmes will be in the kitchen with all of the ingredients needed to make a great dish on draft night. Join Woodward Sports for our 3rd annual Woodward Sports Draft Party, live at 5th Avenue in Royal Oak. The past 2 years, these parties have been standing room only, so get your tickets early at eventbrite.com. Don't miss out on all the fun with Braylon Edwards, Ryan Ermanni, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, and the entire Woodward Sports crew. The party starts at 7:30 p.m. Don't miss the biggest draft party in the Motor City, brought to you by the biggest network, Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups.
Detroit fans were there.
4 World Series wins.
Detroit fans were there.
And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, BMG, Big Mike Gentry in the stead of Spencer Raxter today. Just wrapping up this Red Wings discussion. We'll do the financial deep dive and take a look at draft assets, salary cap, and all that kind of stuff. Either tomorrow or we'll do that on Wednesday when D-Mac comes back. We'll figure that one out. I do want to talk about this, though, because just to do it, Tankathon is our friend. I was just going to spin the NHL draft simulator right now. And there is still some stuff to be decided. A loss would go a long way tonight, coupled with a Washington win. Let's just say it like that. But anyway, let me click the button on that. Right now, Red Wings sitting in the 9th spot as far as the picks are laid out. The 9th worst record in hockey. I hit the sim lottery button. The Red Wings fall 1 spot to 10. Arizona wins the number 1 pick, followed by St. Louis. So St. Louis is the bomb that would hit up, and then Columbus at 3. Anaheim falls 2 spots to 4, but Anaheim has lost 12 in a row coming down the stretch. and I've seen multiple discussion points on this, and this is just out of the blue right here because it made me think about it. And we saw the Dallas Mavericks do this mid-game, trying to keep their play-in hopes alive in the NBA mid-game. Now, Dallas, the example of the Dallas Mavericks was a little extreme, D-Mac. If they won that game and got in the play-in game, they would lose their first-round pick to the Knicks as part of the Porzingis trade.
Okay.
But if they lost and missed the play-in game, they get to keep their pick. So they made the decision in the 4th quarter of the game to get in the play-in game to pull everybody out, forego the opportunity at playing in the play-in game, and keep their first-round pick.
So it was obvious.
It was it was as obvious as it is to when you're down by a point on the last possession, you shoot 3 shots, 3 game-winning shots, and none of them hit the rim. So,
oh, nice, sexy, wow.
Yeah, here you have too, as we talked about.
Well, I mean, you sort of got to respect it, don't you? I mean, the anti-Lovie Smith at the goal line.
Yeah,
right?
Right? Absolutely. And Lovie Smith got fired.
But that's what I've no, because he knew he was on his way out. So who Dallas's coach, like it or not, right? On the same page.
Well, it happens, right? It happens, and
I mean, I always look at it, Neal. What would I want if the roles were reversed, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is that so if they did it, then you know what, would I do something like that? Probably. Right? But it's like fair game. It's like part of part of being a good gym. The one thing is that you could see that the coach, the owner, whatever, they're all on the same page. That's the only thing. That's the thing that I respect, and the fact that I'm talking to the draft capital money guy, right?
Yeah.
You're sitting there screaming. You're screaming. You're losing your mind if you're not in on this. Till you see that, right?
No, absolutely. I think that's a little aggressive. Like, even me, who is the king of draft capital, and the second you can't make the playoffs, it's time to roll the tanks in the streets. You guys know where I stand with that, and I'm consistent with it. Even I thought that was a little aggressive. I mean, you got a shot to get in the playoffs, right? With Kyrie and Luka. Granted, are you going to win the NBA title? Probably not. But you got a shot to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, but those guys had to be in on it. Had to 100%. Be in on it too. So
they had to give their blessing to it.
You know what it was? You guys will need a little extra break Just take it out. Let's come back next year.
So my question to the fans is this. Is tanking a problem? And has it hurt the product? Because we've seen this, right? And I think there's two reasons for this for me. Where we're such a social media society, where us as sports fans, right? When the Lakers are in town on a Friday night, people roll out to LCA. They do. That's fair. That's a fair assumption, right? And everyone's timelines are blown up with here's LeBron and here's the Lakers and clips of being at the game and selfies on the court and all that kind of stuff. But on a Tuesday night, when I name the Orlando Magic are in town on a Tuesday night, no one rolls out, no one's excited. That's not an event. It's an event to be at the Pistons-Lakers game. It's not an event to be at the Magic-Pistons game. So I think that is part of it. But has tanking ruined stuff for you guys? Sam Flannel, what's your thoughts on the state of the tank, I guess you could say?
I mean, like you said, the Dallas one was the most aggressive one I've ever seen. Because if you're Luka Doncic and you miss the playoffs in the heart of your prime, that's a bit of a black mark. But obviously he was on board with it, or else I think he would have the power to put a stop to it. I don't know if it's a huge problem. I mean, what's the other way? Like in the NBA, for example, they have a lottery.
And that's my question.
Yeah, I don't think there is another way. They have a lottery, which basically means you're not guaranteed. If there was no lottery, the Pistons would get Victor Wembanyama because they would guaranteed have the number 1 overall pick. I don't know what the solution is. You're right, though, Neal. At some point, you are penalized for winning.
You're penalized for winning. That's always been a mantra.
There's no season-to-season momentum. That's a myth. I don't know if it's necessarily a problem. But I don't know. It makes for some uncomfortable games.
That's what they tried to do with the bingo balls and the percentages and stuff like this to have that anti-tank. This sort of was protecting your assets. This situation to me wasn't a tank. This was like abort ship. We ain't going anywhere, right? What are we, a first round team or whatever? They knew it, and with everything that Dallas has gone, that's the biggest thing is that they were all on board with this, and it's the right business decision. So I think this is different than tanking because that's what the leagues tried to prevent, even the NHL, the NBA with the bingo balls, right?
Right. So the Mavericks get to keep it because it was top 10 protected. So that's why they did it. That's why they did what they did. So, for me, it's just what do we do about the tanking stuff? And Tony Fiegel says here, the NBA Draft Lottery hurts the product. But excuse me, Troy Fiegel said that. But Troy, everyone's locked in. Lottery night. Everybody, see, like we say that. Here's where I'm kind of calling BS on it, D-Mac, because we say this, right? Like it hurts the product. Everyone is locked in to the NBA Draft Lottery. We love it. So much so that other leagues are emulating it now. Major League Baseball has gone to a lottery. The only one that doesn't, obviously, is the NFL. And I wonder, is that the answer? Is that the answer to just say, hey, you pick where your record is, and that's it? Because what do we complain about here in Detroit? Well, we always get jobbed in the draft lottery, despite the fact we won one and got Cade Cunningham. But the Red Wings always get jobbed in the lottery. Bettman hates the Red Wings, even though television ratings would suggest that they do like the Red Wings, as a matter of fact. But with all that being said, D-Mac, I don't. What is the answer? Because we like the lottery.
Well, I think first, Nick Wilkerson, you brought it up right. There's a difference between tanking and quitting. That was a quit. That game was a quit, abort ship. Instead of going down with the ship, that they protected themselves. I think they should go back. If you're going to pull the tank in the streets and you're going to tank and you're going to do it, then get rewarded for it. I mean, that's the way it used to be. That's how Pittsburgh got Mario Lemieux. Flat out blatant stuff like this. It's been going on. It's just everybody's just trying to adjust what we said before. What game are you playing and play it better? Right? It's the same. It's sort of the code of life, but even in sports, it's even more so.
And we get this every time. Mike Vysotsky says they should do a demotion format like European soccer, come up with a solid second-tier league and have the bottom three drop. Mark, when you pay $2.5 billion for a franchise, they're not coming to you looking you in the eye after season 1 and saying, I'm sorry, but you have to go to the G League now. That ain't happening. I know everybody gets caught up with that and they love it, and it's a romantic idea. I understand it, and it does make English soccer cool. I think that is a cool aspect of English soccer. But those teams have been around for 100 years. Nobody paid $2.2 billion as an expansion fee to get a team. So that it's great, it's romantic, it's just not realistic. So it's not going to happen that way.
No. And wouldn't you rather see it like the old system, who has the worst record picks first? Because then you could really get mad at your team for not tanking or putting the tanks in the streets. Then there's a fine line of pulling up your young talent and stuff like this, right? There's a difference. Like Steve Eisman's not afraid if the young guys come in and lose earlier on, if it changes a couple percentage points from being at the bottom. But if, it may entice more teams to develop guys earlier. I don't know.
Troy also says, Neal, would you be okay with a lottery in the NFL? Would we be okay with a lottery in the NFL? It would be electric, though. Tell me it wouldn't be electric.
It would be electric, but I don't.
See, like, it's poking through a little bit, isn't it, D-Mac?
I just think of the gambling.
What's that?
I said I would not want to see the Lions in a lottery draft. They would do everything they could to make sure they didn't get that first pick.
Pebbles to stones, not quite bricked on the idea, but stone. No, the gambling aspect of it too.
Can we do that, BMG?
Oh my God, it'd be like horse race. You could pick the trifecta. Who would be the first three? Oh my God, the gambling on it.
WoodwardSports.com chat poll.
Wow.
Do you want to see a lottery for the NFL draft? Yes or no? Pretty simple question.
I think from where our teams are at right now, yes, because that's your only chance probably to get higher in the draft with as you're getting better and better and better each year.
Yeah, so I mean it is. It's just Dave Swaniger says the worst team in the NBA should pick no lower than 3, in my opinion. No team should drop multiple spots in back-to-back lotteries. So reward the tank then. Like, I don't know what the answer is, guys. I don't. We say we don't like this, but we can't get enough of it the night of the lottery. And that's Sam, am I being up too serious?
We don't like it?
Well, people are saying lottery sucks.
Yeah, okay.
Until the night where we do it.
Well, it's not just lottery sucks. It's tanking sucks. This is a terrible product. But at the end of the day, the solutions that are being given, like I think it was Dave Swaniger who said, would further incentivize tanking. I mean, if you have the worst record and you can get no lower than 3, then it's even more of an incentive for the Pistons to have gotten that worst record, which they had. There's no real good answer at this point. That's the problem with the taking situation. I don't have an idea. Let's just keep it the way that it is.
Well, we
doesn't
know
bother
that.
me.
We know that. A good one, anyways. A good one, anyways.
Yeah, and I want to get the exact numbers, so I'm not speaking out of school, I guess you could say, as far as what the percentages are, because when you look at it, so the bottom 3 teams for the NBA, the Pistons, the Spurs, and the Rockets, they all have the exact same percentage chance, of being the number 1 pick. Team 4 is 12.5, Team 5 is 10.5, and all the way go. Team 14, who theoretically, just missed the playoffs, has a 0.5% chance. I just think, and the more I think about it, the more I'm kind of going in line with what the last texter just said, where I think the odds need to be juiced for the worst teams. Because look at it this way.
Maybe that's what it is, Neal. Maybe you juice the purse up for the bottom few teams anyway.
Team number 7 in the NBA has a 7.5% chance of winning the lottery.
Yeah.
The worst team has a 14% chance.
Yeah. So the worst team should have like a 20% chance.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a math guy. Don't proclaim to be. But I'm marinating on this whole NFL draft lottery idea. I'm trying to decide what I think about it. In the meantime, D-Mac, if I'm thinking about a haircut, I know what to do there.
Well, yeah, and if you like cars too, because how about this? Walking away any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not 1, but 2. Yes, 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, 1 for you and 1 for your wife, girlfriend, or best bud, whatever. Or maybe your wife, girlfriend, best bud, same person, who knows. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Jumpin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry. Chomping Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chomping Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on woodwardsports.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals in town. Plus, they will beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty. We have Sam Flannel, BMG, Big Mike Gentry of Chomping Puck fame here as well. In for Spencer Raxter. Happy to have you all with us. WoodwardSports.com chat thread going on. Jump in there. Get your thoughts out there. Subscribe to the podcast page, Big D Energy Podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Feel free to leave a 5-star review if you enjoy the show. If not, then don't subscribe to it, okay? How about that? Don't rate it. You can subscribe, just don't rate it. How about that? I think that's fair. But we're talking just, draft lotteries and tanking, because I don't know what the answer is.
I think you brought up a great question to me. Do you think that the NBA lottery's fixed?
And look, the reason I asked that question, I look down and everyone's saying it right now. The NBA draft lottery will be fixed for the San Antonio Spurs. You can book it.
And the NHL people, especially in Detroit, where we sort of got the short end of the stick, being a really bad team for the past 6-8 years, is the fact that New York gets the number 1 pick and gets Lafreniere or whatever like that, who was just out of the playoffs. So there's a little suspect there. But in all honesty, Neal, I don't think it is. I think it's just karma. And I think it's because if that would be the integrity of the game, right? That's the integrity of the game. That's something enough if that was true. And in today's day and age, somebody would say leak something or whatever like this. That just wouldn't that ruin the whole.
And we have examples, right? Like, you think the league wanted Zion Williamson to be in New Orleans?
Nope.
No
Absolutely
chance.
Not. I don't understand what this whole hullabaloo is about it getting fixed for the San Antonio Spurs. Is it just a Popovich thing? Is it just Spurs are one of the best dynasties of the past 25 years thing? I don't know what that is. The Spurs aren't sexy at all.
Getting that first-round pick isn't going to jump forward them, that much farther. I think if they're going to fix it for someone, they're going to put that first-round pick in a position to where he can actually shine and be something next year.
I don't know that I'm with that that whole
no,
it's
I
fixed.
think that if you go back to it and did a deep dive, more times than not, the draft ended up where the league wouldn't want him to go.
Well, I don't think too. And Wyatt Bayer says the odds need to be bricked up in the draft, and they do.
Agree.
And they do, because look, we just went over the NBA situation where the worst team in the NBA has 14% chance of winning. The 7th worst team has a 7.5% chance of winning. Like, the gap, maybe the gap isn't as large as we perceive it to be. And as I look for the NHL draft lottery odds, the worst team in the league has a 25.5% chance of winning. However, when you go down to 6, where Arizona is right now, they have a 7.5% chance. Like, it's not like it's this huge gap. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why we think that it's fixed or it's staged. You have a good chance of winning. You have, in relation to the worst team in the league, the 7th worst team has a good chance of winning. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. Yeah, the odds are there. Their odds are there for a reason. And when you look at it, Neal, and if you play poker, right, especially Texas Hold'em,
you get the odds in your favor and let it work itself out.
But how many times have you been two-outed?
Million, all the time.
Meaning, if I have pair of queens.
Well, D-Mac, you know why that is? Because you feel as though it happens more to you than it does, but you never think about it when you win on it. You're just like, oh, I won. I was supposed to win.
Yeah.
For real. Like, you only remember the losses. You don't remember the wins.
Right.
So, I don't know what you do to fix it. Ransom says the NBA Draft Lottery is bad. The top 3 should be a lock. And maybe that's what it is maybe you have to brick up the odds is why a Bear says. Big Daddy Buttman says, Neal, if I own the only restaurant in town, I serve horrible food and I have long lines to get my slop, yes, I can have the best food because everybody is eating it. Apollo says, we're getting Wemby, get used to it. I will say this.
I like that attitude.
I will say this. It is due for the worst team to win the lottery. It's due.
Yeah, you said that yesterday.
Yeah, if you go by the odds, like a 14% chance is still a long shot. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'll reverse that on you. Do you expect an 86% shooter to make a free throw?
Yes.
There's only a 14% chance he's going to miss.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you start thinking about it that way.
It's a chance that he misses.
Right.
And they do.
They do. But 86% of the time they make it.
Better hope he misses the front end one.
Yeah. So it's just I think that's where it's going to be. I just don't know how you fix this because it's apparent that it's going on, and I'm a purveyor of it. I said this from this. I didn't want the Red Wings to win another game the second that the run was over. Maybe that's aggressive. I don't know. Shoot, I didn't want the Lions to win a game when they were 1-6 last year. I'm like, man, you're not getting to the playoffs at 1-6. Now it turns out I was right. It was close, but hey, it was close, but they still didn't make it. You know what I'm saying?
And you liked
I did.
You liked the ending of this story rather than the story of tank
because there was progress.
Right, that's what I mean.
Now the difference is from before, like last year with the Lions, because I've heard people kind of question, the Jameson Williams pick when it was made. Jameson Williamson pick when it was made, where people said, why are you going to take a guy that can't help? People that are quarterback proponents have said that this year. You like the pick a JMO pick. He couldn't help you that year, but it was different. It was at a different time.
Right.
Life is all about timing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
Now they're on the move. Now it's time to go. To whereas before
and that's why
it wasn't.
When we've talked about it, where they have options, and that's why you have to talk about drafting different positions, moving up in the draft. There's options. Like Brad Holmes' toolbox is full right now, right? Neal, he's ready for that big job. So there's a lot of ways this team can go because you look at the one question before. Right, and I always remember how you said when I said, what about we haven't seen him do it in free agency, and you said he hasn't had the ability to, so wait and see this year. And would you say that he's got an A or an A+ in free agency for what he did?
Yeah, even in retrospect, I give it a strong B to a B+.
Strong B to a B+, right.
I mean, the Kopp thing, people, and even I had to check myself to go back and look at Kopp's numbers and say, hey, numbers-wise, it wasn't ridiculously off from what he is. Maybe I was oversold on Kopp a little bit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like oversold on it, but it wasn't like it was some mammoth deal.
But it's to the build. That's what I was trying to say before. The culture. This is the first year of this 2-3 of building as these young guys come in and having the structure around it of how the inner locker room works and the responsibility. And the bottom line is, let's wait and see. When you hear me say that's the 1C, that's the 1C, right? Then we can move on, and then we'll talk about goaltenders. Because I saw somebody bring it up in the chat about, am I new to hockey, or am I wrong? We need to upgrade in goaltending, and yes, we do. Because what do we find out? I mean, Ville Husso's great for like 35 games.
Right.
And you look at the track record, he hasn't played and been asked to do that. Now it's durability and stuff like this. And I think that if he's your backup and you have a 1A, who I guess right now the outside plan I would suspect is Kosa, but Kosa still needs a year in Grand Rapids. Thanks, Mikey. So what's the process in the meantime? Are you giving up on Ned and Halbert? So to that question, yes, the goaltending will get better, and it will have to get better. you're going to get ready to watch this NHL playoffs. With this first round is the most exciting. If you're a hockey fan, and even if you're not, because it's game. But you're going to watch goaltending to be one of the three keys. Staying healthy and getting that bounce.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, the away fan says, so you're telling me there's a chance? Yes, I am. J. Will fan, Neal, tanking is like Stoke not scared. It's a movement. It is a movement. Apollo says, if there's a 14% chance mustard is on my sandwich, I'm still going to eat that sandwich. I mean,
so you don't like mustard then?
I guess not.
I don't like mustard.
Are you a 14%er like that? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no. If I knew there was mustard on there, I'm not eating it.
But what if you bit into it and there's mustard in there? Would you eat the rest of it?
No. Probably not.
You're a prude.
Jonesy5182 says, Neal, but you don't have 384% free throw shooters shooting at the same time. And yes, that's fair. Like, that's a fair cross comparison. I'm only worried about one franchise, though. So, like, that's my thing. It's just, would you bet on a 14%? On a 14% shot? Would you stake your entire franchise on a 14% shot of paying off? No, nobody would. Maybe when Flannel, popped the question, he was thinking, man, there's a 14% chance she'll say yes, but I'm going for it anyway.
I mean, I wouldn't pop a question if there was a 14% chance she said yes. I was pretty sure, but there's always...
You were 86% sure.
I was 86% sure, exactly.
No, I do.
Well, hopefully
I like
Flannel used up one of the 86% shots.
Maybe he did. Nick Hedigan says, Neal, this is where I get mad at you. Now, I don't want to go through and break down the true odds of Detroit getting the number one. I'm just mad at myself for being a nerd, but I'm mad. Well, Nick, I'm sorry. That's the way I'm programmed to think. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, it's just I have a feeling that it's time for the worst record to get the first pick. I believe it was 2018, I want to say off the top of my head. It's been a minute. So let's hope that it lines up for a change, and let's hope that we catch a break. Just like you're going to catch a break here. You're an energy drink fan? Cintron. That is the play. It's the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proudly served at Little Caesars Arena, and they have an exclusive offer for Woodward sports fans. You can get the Red Wings 6-pack sampler delivered to your door, $15. Boom. Shipping's free. $15. Boom. Delivered to your door. So you know what? Why wait? Try the great tasting Cranberry Classic and sugar-free as well. Go to drinkcintron.com/Woodward and get it delivered right to your door with free shipping for $15. Again, drinkcintron.com/Woodward. Darren McCarty drinks it. He's a fan.
Absolutely. You should too. Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog.
Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. That's right. Are you feeling tired, depressed, unmotivated, low sex drive, muscle loss, belly fat, piling up? Testosterone optimization therapy is a safe and effective way to restore your vitality, confidence, and performance. You can also reduce heart disease risk as well. Visit CustomHealthCenters.com today. That's CustomHealthCenters.com. Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, BMG, Big Mike Gentry in for Spencer Raxter today. And we're just chopping it up. Remember to subscribe to the podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify, Big D Energy by Woodward Sports. Be so kind. You can rewind, fast forward, you miss a show, you can tap right in as you're driving around town, whatever you want to do. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, get in there. Let's wrap up this poll as well. We're talking about tanking and everything that's going on. Should the NFL do a draft lottery? 80% of people say no, which I'm surprised. Just help me understand something then. Then why is every sports draft lottery so electric? You guys know this. Maybe not right now, but May 16th, I think it is, we'll all be locked in.
Well, you're locked in if your team sucked. And you got a chance
the NHL
beginning.
draft lottery. We will be locked in,
No,
D-Mac.
you will, but because you got a shot to be there, right? If you got a shot to be there, I think that, either way, I mean, what do you want to be in this town? You want to be a playoff team, so you're sort of, it's positioned the old way. So, again, I don't know.
So the Pistons fans don't want a lottery, but the Red Wings fans do.
I'll give you this, O'Neal. You're right. The day of, we're all excited. And it's more exciting because we've been around. We don't know anything but the lottery, right? Or being involved in the lottery in this town. Is that
no?
True
That's
statement?
fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So I don't know. It'll be exciting, and it'll be exciting. Just hopefully, if we it was real exciting when we got the first pick with Kate Cunningham with the Pistons, right? So hopefully we can do it again.
Well, Jonesy5182 gave me a math lesson here.
Ooh.
This is all moot. Everything in life is 50-50. It's either going to happen or it's not.
I like your style,
So we got a 50-50 shot.
All right.
Despite the fact that we only have 14% of the ping pong balls.
Right.
I'll go with it.
One of the multiverses that we're going to hit it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lions Planet says it would have been nice if that Islanders pick was in the top 14 lottery picks. So on draft night, we could have 2 picks to look forward to. That is correct. I forgot about that. The Islanders trade now because they made the playoffs. The Red Wings do not get that pick, which kind of stinks. But,
It's what it is.
They'll get it next year, though.
Yes.
You can turn off the Seinfeld drops, by the way.
That was my bad. I didn't.
Yes, it was
press that
your
one.
bad. Yes, it was your bad. Lions are celebrating their 90th anniversary this season. 90 years of Lions football. What's your favorite moment, D-Mac?
Barry running for 2,000 and how he did it. That, and I was me, Drapes, Ozzy, Wardo. We went to I believe it was a televised game, Chicago, Thanksgiving Day. We went down and hung out with the Hangmen at Silverdome,
nice.
painted our faces and stuff. Got banged up and had just a blast of a time. That was back in 93, 94. I think we won that game too. I don't remember, but it was but how pathetic is that?
Yes. No, I mean, what about you, Sam Flannel? You're younger. What's your favorite Lions moment?
My favorite Lions moment, without a shadow of a doubt, is Calvin Johnson's 14-catch, 329-yard masterpiece against the Cowboys, including the one that he caught at the goal line, which resulted in that Matthew Stafford fake spike, sneak the ball over for the game-winning touchdown. Calvin Johnson, in his prime, there's never been a wide receiver as good. If you just put him in a vacuum with how dominant he was, and that was, to me, his masterpiece. That was his Mona Lisa if he were Leonardo da Vinci. So to me, that was like watching the greatest I've ever seen do his thing at the highest level. Wonderful to watch.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, the away fan says, when we say there's always next year, that's my favorite part of Lions football. You know what's funny about Calvin is I had a friend of mine that was working at Georgia Tech when he was at Georgia Tech, and I remember watching that Gator Bowl when they played West Virginia, I want to say, and they put 2 guys on him and it didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
And Reggie Ball would just close his eyes and throw the ball up into the end zone, and Calvin would just go up and come down with it. And I was like, this dude, man, he's a freak.
And Calvin Johnson was such a great prospect that the Lions even decided to draft him after having the horrors of Charles Rogers, Mike Williams, and Roy Williams. They were still like, this guy is so good. Matt Millen said that you cannot pass him up. One of the most dominant college prospects ever.
Scab says 80,000 fans chanting Barry, Barry, Barry in the Silverdome still gives me goosebumps. That was electric.
That was awesome.
I was at that game against the Jets when he went over 2,000 yards, and that was an incredible day, man.
And the way he broke it,
Yeah.
for the record.
Yeah, and just busted a
Touchdown,
run out.
70 yards or whatever.
I do have to say, though, my time of being a Lions fan, my favorite moment, which in the end becomes laughable, which in the end kind of becomes laughable, but I think that makes it more on brand. I remember being at the playoff game with my dad in '91. And, Barry ran in that last touchdown where the Lions defender or the Cowboys defenders were like turned around and thought the play was over and stuff. And there goes Barry and he scores. And we were sitting in that end zone that he was running towards. And that was when it was apparent, like, this game's over. The Lions are actually going to win a playoff game. I couldn't believe it. And just the people around us, like, we were all like stunned, not scared. You know what I'm saying? And I remember how hype it was, and just like, if they beat Washington, they're going to the Super Bowl. Like, think about that. And I remember saying that. And I still don't believe it to this day. If they beat Washington, our Lions are going to the Super Bowl. And that was like the height of my fandom. I was like 10 years old or whatever. That was like the height. You remember that when you were a kid as a fan.
Oh, your wheelhouse.
Yeah, you lived and died.
When I was 12, Tigers won World Series.
You lived and died.
Yeah, lived and died.
All the time. You lived and died it. Listened to every game on the radio because they were never sold out because they stunk, and that was the first year like they got good. And I just remember talking with strangers about that. Like, we're going to beat Washington. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's why it's on brand, because they lost 41-10. In that NFC Championship game. But it was 17-7 at halftime. People forget that. So that was it.
Darn it. 30 years.
Paul Thomas says that we were actually in that game versus Washington up to halftime. It was 17-7, man.
Is that true? People forget Barry had 53 yards after 2 games that year and finished with 2,053. That's what Jones is saying.
No, that was 90. Yeah, it might have been. Was that 97? It was 97. He went over 2,000 that game against the Jets. I know it was bad.
Did he start?
He started slow. Yeah,
okay.
I know he started
even
slow.
More impressive.
Yeah, that's him though, man.
Off $2,000 in 14 games. Whatever.
Albert G41 says Marvin Jones 4 touchdown catches has to be a top 5 moment for me. Rack Neal O'Donnell crying about how loud the crowd was at that game too. LOL. The official came on the microphone in the stadium and said the crowd has to quiet down so the Jets can get a play in, or they'll be assessed a 5-yard penalty. It was that's on YouTube. If you guys ever get a chance, man.
And that worked.
Yeah. It did though, man. It was so awesome, man. How about you, BMG? You're a younger dude. What's your favorite Lions moment?
I'm a big Stafford guy, so I'm going to have to go with one of his moments. Probably when he came back in with the injured shoulder, led the game-winning drive, just the celebration, everything like that. Big Stafford guy, so I would have to go with one of his. I know you're not too fond of Matthew Stafford, so.
What do you mean not too fond? Like, he was fine.
We'll leave it at that then.
He was fine. That's what was good about him, and that's what was the problem with him.
Yeah.
He was fine. Both things can be true. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. TUSC says Calvin had 9 catches for 186 yards and 2 touchdowns in that game against West Virginia. They just threw jump balls to the man, and he just went up and sunned everybody. It was wild, D-Mac.
Well, yeah, Steve Reiner, Mikey says Stafford's rookie year Cleveland game, toughness in that game convinced me he was going to win at some point, win a championship. Not with us, but with somebody else.
Let me see. Doctero says, blame Bobby Ross for the slow start. Nick Hedegen went down. I was at the Jets game as well when Reggie Brown went down. That was crazy. That added to the whole thing, right? Like, the low of that, I remember Johnny Morton running to the end zone saying, get the ambulance, like it was quiet, obviously. And, like, to see a player do, we talked about this on the air before.
Yeah,
that was very sobering. And then no more than 20 minutes later, you have 80,000 fans on their feet because Barry's breaking the tooth. That goes to show you, by the way, the duality of the NFL.
Yeah.
we'll always forget in Chase of Glory. We will always forget.
Any given Sunday.
We will. We just move on in the NFL. Even us as fans. I was there. I was guilty of. What do you got over there, Sam Flynn? You look like you're looking at something.
Oh no, I'm good. But yeah, the Barry moment, I was a little bit young for that. I would have been about 5-6 years old. But when you look back at the YouTube highlights of that one, that probably is the winner, at least since 1991 when they won a playoff game. Best player in franchise history.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread Ransom says, my best Lions moment was when they fire Matt Patricia, Bobby Quinn, and Millen. But that's on brand. That is on brand. I will say this, though. The day they fire Bob Quinn, because, guys, I'm telling you this with every fiber of my soul, and you guys hear me in the way I talk about the Tigers and stuff like that, Brad Holmes will win a playoff game here soon. And when they do, man, I'll go back to that 10. I'm telling you guys this is like cliche or sentimental or whatever. There will be a moment I go back to that 10-year-old kid sitting at the Silverdome going, we just won a playoff game. Because it hasn't happened since. And, it's going to be hype. He is going to win. They are going to win a playoff game. They are.
No, absolutely. And that's why Brad Holmes is the best GM in Lions history. Just like, where's the best place to get some lunch?
Well, that would be Cousins Maine Lobster, of course. Cousins Maine Lobster brings the best of the Maine coast to Detroit. Try their variety of sweet, succulent Maine lobster menu items at their 2 food trucks rolling around the city. You can find their event schedules at cousinsmainelobster.com and through their mobile app where you can easily order ahead and earn rewards. It's Cousins Maine Lobster.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Let's talk some security. We're going Guardian Alarm. Of course, Guardian Alarm, they offer you customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians who take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. If you would like that, give Guardian Alarm a call. The number, 1-800-STAY-OUT. 24/7 professional monitoring all around the clock. Call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. So let's give them a call. The number, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Technology backed by people, Homo sapiens, yes, real people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. How do I know? Because they've been protecting the Sam Flannel's flannel for how many straight days?
254.
254 straight days. If you believe that, they'll protect anything. Personal, business, whatever, but I need you to give them a call today. Again, the number, 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Stay out of the playoffs, Scotty Barnes.
You got one?
Stay out of the game, Tigers bullpen. But unfortunately, at some point, they have to come in. So it's a conundrum.
Mirror. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, BMG, Big Mike Gentry here with you in for Spenmo Racks, WoodwardSports.com. Chat, thread, reaction. 90 years of Lions football this year. Makes you cry almost, doesn't it? for a lot of reasons. But some reaction to it. Sue Yu says, guys, Neal will cry live on air. And I won't be the only one, I bet. I won't be the only one. It's funny, man, because like I get this dynamic, and I get it a lot on social media when we put these clips up, especially when I'm nuking the Tigers and stuff like that. Like, you're a hater. Why do you watch and stuff like that? Like, no, man. That's why I'm worked up about it. Because I've never, this is where I'm from. I'm as into this as all of you guys are. Parents worked in the car factories all the way. You know what I'm saying? This was my childhood. This is, moving into it now. Yes, I'm passionate about it. And yes, I'm pissed off about the Tigers because they stink. And I'm pissed. And for the Lions, yeah, I will go back to that when I was a 10-year-old kid sitting in the Silverdome with them winning a playoff game. I'll go back. I bet I will. I bet I will shed a tear. And why would you not?
Why wouldn't you?
Because as much time as I put into it, I've watched every Lions game that I can remember since I can remember. 5 years old. Every single Lions game. You put that much time and energy into it, and I'll admit, there was a...
Yeah, you're not going to be the only one. Put that...
100%.
Who will shed a tear when they win a playoff game?
100%. It's when you put that much time and effort and energy into it, A, you deserve the right to be pissed off about it when it stinks, and you can complain about it, which I do. And B, there will be some emotion to it. There will, when they do it. Because it goes back to that throughout the childhood and all that kind of stuff. Is it cheesy? I don't know. I guess it's cheesy. But it's also kind of a human response, right? You put that much time into something, man, and you get the payoff, there's no better feeling in the world. Because it worked out.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was it like when you got drafted to the NHFNL? NHFNL.
One of those feelings of just electricity going through your body and like, oh my God, it's really happening. Like it was one of those moments.
You'll never forget that, dude. You'll never forget that.
Montreal Forum, old Montreal Forum. Hearing your name, and I remember when they announced it, second round, Detroit Red Wings select right winger, 72 birth, Belleville Bulls, and I'm like, that's got to be. There's nobody else on my team. You still didn't believe it? That's got to be me. That's got to be me.
Wait a minute, they take somebody else from our team?
No, they couldn't be. There's obviously only right winger in the draft.
Woodwardsports.com, chat thread, the away fan. Neal, I can hear the passion in your voice. Nice to hear, my dude. I'm glad it's a moment you still hold dear. Yeah, I'll remember that. Guys, I could get Alzheimer's, and I'll still remember that moment. Like, there's nothing that can happen where I'll never not remember that moment.
It's locked in that special spot in your brain that you can go back
It's
to.
Untouchable.
Yeah.
By any disease, or it's untouchable. Big Dan Davis says, my favorite Lions moment was when Quinn and Patricia got fired. I celebrated that by getting bricked up. So, we are.
You were probably not the only one.
Yeah. Thomas Perry says, Neal, we just had a new president for the Tigers last season. I'm looking at the future with optimism. It'll make these trying years that much better. Nah. No, it won't. Not this team. We're going to touch on it in a little bit. DNC ENT, not crying for a Lions playoff win is a bozo move. That's true. That is absolutely true. Jonesy 5182, I cried when they beat the Vikings 2 years ago. That's kind of weird. If we ever win a Super Bowl, I'll cry like a kid that fell off a bike down a rock hill. So, that is kind of random, isn't it? What about you, BMG? They win, you gonna cry?
Oh yeah.
For real?
No, I mean, maybe.
You don't know.
I'll have
it's a possibility.
I'll have a lot of drinks in me at that time, so anything's on the table,
Yeah. We got one from Terminal Dennis who's checking in. Recent favorite Lions memory, first Monday Night Football game against Chicago at Ford Field. The energy has never been matched since. So there's that one. That was hype that day. I'll give you guys a story. So I was working downtown for a local mortgage company. That was like my little 8-month gap of when I was out of sports media. And my crew got to the tailgate down there for that Monday night home game against the Bears. I'm sure you all remember that. That was when Javid Best popped off, I want to say, right? But we were all going to go to the game, but I had to work, obviously. They got downtown to tailgate at 11 a.m. for the Monday night game. For the Monday night game. And I could talk about this now because I'm no longer with the company. So for my lunch break, I went downstairs and went to the parking lot and did tailgating activities until my lunch break was over. Then I went back.
And then you joined them later?
And then I joined them after the workday was over, correct.
Absolutely.
It's everything you thought it would be.
It was?
Oh, yeah. The horses got out of the barn. That's Most celebrated lunch hour of my life.
Hey, yo! I love it. And then the game paid off.
And then they won, and it was electric. That Monday Night Football game was.
But isn't that
crazy.
the electricity we're talking about for draft night now? Or not?
You know
quite?
what? I had something else I want to do. Can we address that real quick? Because we are 2 weeks away. How bricked up are you going to be for the? It's 2 weeks.
Oh.
Do you guys
I'm
feel?
gonna have to tuck my sweater in, and maybe my coat. Holy cow! So bricked.
Do you guys feel it like circulating around? Do you feel the blood flow circulating? I'll leave it at that. Do you?
Absolutely.
How the heck are we not doing one of those blue pill commercials? Why are they not a sponsor? Right?
Yeah.
You got all the sound. You got everything else. Talking about bricks. Anyways.
For real.
For real, yeah, brick for the draft. Dude, somebody
you
said,
can't be bricked for 2. Where are you in your stage of bricked up?
Somebody said, Spenny told me the other day, 48 hours, go see a doctor. And I'm like, no, so just, like, control it. There's nothing to be bricked about until then.
Well, Gentry, to answer your question, I would have said yes, but Neal, you have a point about you can't just stay in that state for 2 consecutive weeks. You have to kind of pace yourself a little bit. And yeah, I would say
says
that.
the veteran honeymooner.
I will say this though. This one I'm even more bricked up for than usual because these are players that they could get that could help their team get over the top this season. You can't say that.
Well, they
about,
should take a quarterback, Sam Flannel.
I mean, I wouldn't take Anthony Richardson or Will Levis. That's for damn sure.
They need to take a quarterback, Sam Flannel. We'll get into that. Don't worry. We'll get into that. The away fan says, heavy blood flow, baby. Alex Merrill says, oh, yeah, Neal. You guys are aggressive. The away fan says, I'm getting lightheaded. Come on, you guys, it's 2 weeks away. Where are we? Assign a percentage, BMG. Bricked up. Where are we on the bricked up meter for the draft? We're 2 weeks away. Remember?
I'd say I'm pushing like 60%.
No, you are not. D-Mac, where are you at?
I've been
but
looking.
He's young. He's young.
No, that's besides the fact.
I'm at 25. I'm at. Look, I'm right here. Show it, Mikey. Show me the camera, bro.
Oh,
not on yourself. Right here. See that 20? Oh, there's a 25. I'm 25% right now.
25%.
I'm going to stay there till probably about the Tuesday, or if there's action in the trade pools, or if the speculation as we get there. We're going to ease into it, but we're 51.
It's been a long time coming.
Mikey can't control his bricks. Mikey doesn't have brick control.
He's got bricks for days.
No, people have been waiting for this after they finished off that Green Bay game, and they knew that this was the next point. We have been waiting and waiting, even through the playoffs. That's all you've been looking forward to is what the Lions can do in this draft and then how they're going to be in that moment next year. So I'm at 60%, and it's only going up from here.
60.
Where are you at, Sam Flannel?
I would probably say 20 or 25 in terms of pacing myself, but I can't blame BMG because think about this. Last season was the best draft in Lions history. I think it will show out like that. So we're thinking as fans, maybe Brad Holmes can do it again after the results came to fruition with a winning record. How can you not be bricked up? As Fish would say, how do you not?
Hey, but here's the thing. I didn't even hear anything he said except it sounded like married guy talking to a single buddy telling him he's out there.
You're too aggressive.
You do it, bud. You do it. You're good being out there. And Sam's like, yep, D-Mac, I get what you're saying. You know what? We're just going to sit back and choose it. But it's like, let the little guy go.
Hey,
let him go.
I give
Brick
no
it up,
fucks.
Mikey. But then what you said is actually factual. So
I'm calling BS here. Alex Merrill says, oh, no, I've been bricked up for 2 months, baby. You have not.
That was what my point is.
Some people have been preparing their whole life for this, Neal. I'm not gonna argue with them. There's professional brick. What are professional? There's professional brickers.
No, I know that there are.
Bricklayer. He's a bricklayer.
You have not been bricked. Alex Merrill, you have not been bricked up for 2 months.
Maybe he has
Dirty Dr. D. I'm cinder bricked up. Okay.
Jesus.
Our audience, man. You do anything. Yeah. All right. We're not going to talk about messing your pants or anything like that. Apollo says my pants are tight. Peaceful Tim, Bridgewater is coming, Mr. Ruhl. You know what, though? with new information presents itself, I reserve the right to change my opinion. Because now, after the events of Jeff Okuda, now I'm fine with it. Because the percentage of assets being used has been reduced. Therefore, we have that luxury now. So I know people were looking for an I gotcha, haha, I gotcha moment. You didn't have me. You never had me. You never had your car. I quote Dom Toretto.
Okay.
Just saying. You never had me. You know what you
Gotta
can
love
have,
it.
though? Big boy seafood fest. You can still have that. Catch it while you can, guys. Last week of the All I Can Eat Fish Fry Buffet tomorrow, Friday. Yes, you better get in front of Spencer Raxter. Ain't going to be no fish left after Spenmo gets through that line. You want to get tartar sauce to your fries? Go ahead and do it. That's not your style. Shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir fry, the all-new fish sandwich, that's in play also. Seafood Fest. It's winding down, everybody. Get to your local big boy today.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning. You'll find the cleanest salons in the D, spotless, sanitized, roomed, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. Don't forget to pick up the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cal Tan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions as well. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which one of the 27 locations works best for you. Chili Peppers Tanning. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans, all there for you at Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Tanning.
Yay. Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network coming on the stretch already. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, BMG, Big Mike Gentry. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. But, you know, I just wanted to do a status check of everyone. I am like D-Mac and Sam Flannel. I would say I'm a little bit lower. I'd say about 15%, but trending up. There's a green arrow next to it. 2 weeks.
You gotta pump those numbers up.
Rookie numbers.
Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
You gotta pump those up.
Yes. Jack Harrington says Sam is a bricked up Lakers fan. You bricked up for the Lakers?
Oh, God.
And I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm a LeBron and AD fan.
All right, we heard enough.
Yeah.
We don't care about LeBron fans at this network.
So that is it. I just wanted a status check to see. You get my permission, D-Mac, at this time next week, just just do it all.
Yeah, vacation?
Just
fucking right on. Or that's perfect.
The week leading up.
I'm going to.
You don't have to consult your doctor. You don't have to do any of it. You can just go.
All right.
Is that fair?
So, like, at my parents' Vegas trip, laying it out there back in the day, Vegas. How many fired up on the? Let's go. For the whole week?
Whatever that slot is for you.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
All right.
There you go.
I mean, do we need to let it out that early, or if we're like?
That's on a case by case basis.
You know what? Like that's something that the kids will do. Let them try to run around.
Find a plan that works for you.
Okay, thank you.
Let's just say it like that.
I'm gonna probably wait until Tuesday, Monday. No, more than likely the Monday before. Then it'll start to get amped up, and then it'll be juiced up. Right.
Okay.
I probably, if I'm sitting here on the Wednesday and the draft's the next day, I'm spinning in my top.
Yeah. We'll be back, like in the studio. You'll be back here on the.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, this is Darren McCarty. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Hi.
We're bricked up for the draft.
Nothing to see here. Excuse me. Can I just squeak? Oh,
a lot to talk about tripods. You guys love. I know you guys love this. I know you do. Speaking of drafts, though, and moments that got you bricked up, probably from the draft. Jameson Williams next year. I heard some people around town. This is something, though, that I do struggle with. I've heard this chatter around town. Jameson Williams. The body's not even cold yet from the Jeff Okuda cutting. He's on social media. Hey, can I get that number 1, though? Which I like. I like it. I know people talked about him.
Didn't you see more savage? Like,
100%.
They liked it than they didn't?
100%.
Yeah.
I did. But I did hear some people, they were like, I don't know. This kind of concerns me. I don't like the fact that he likes Lamar Jackson tweets about coming to Detroit and all that kind of stuff. Do we care about that?
No.
Again, status check on the room. You don't, BMG? Do you care about that, Sam Flannel?
No.
Do you care about that, D-Mac?
No, not at all. Until he doesn't produce. Or until, right? So go out there, do your job, catch the ball, touchdowns, do your thing, and you can like whoever you want and do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Then people will let it go. But if he's not producing, or if he is, then it might start wearing on people where they will bring it up. It's just nature.
Let me address this real quick. Let me address this real quick. And Ransom, you're a valued member of the community. That's always my disclosure, right, when I'm about to disagree with somebody. Ransom in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. You're a valued member of the community. He says, quote, got to earn that number 1 jersey. Can we stop with this college line of thinking? This is professional football. If Jameson Williams wants number 1 and it's open, he can just go have number 1. There is no, you got to earn the number 1 jersey. This isn't Schembechler Hall. We're not talking about Anthony Carter. All right? This is professional football. If Jameson Williams wants number 1 and it's open, or if he buys it off somebody, he can just have the number 1 jersey. He doesn't need to earn anything. He's a first-round NFL draft pick that's earning it enough. Thank you. That's my statement on that. But that ish bothers me, dude. This is professional sports.
Yeah, that's cool. You're right. I mean, it's not that it's different. Earning. I told the story about how it's more pecking order. But, you know, one of the things is if one of the, Gardner Johnson comes in as a veteran, or Mosley or something, if they wanted one, they'd probably have the pecking order to it. So if he's at the top of the pecking order, right, Neal? If he's on top of the pecking order, if a couple guys want it, but if he's the only one that wants it, absolutely.
Apollo
you don't have
says,
to buy anybody a watch or anything.
Yeah, Apollo says, these college fans, bro, LOL. Nine Drink says, when did Acuna earn it? You know, so I mean, this isn't college football. This is the NFL. If he wants the jersey, give him the jersey.
If he's got seniority,
or
of wanting the jersey,
right? Or if he pays for it, like
right.
However he does it. I don't care.
Figure it out. Right.
I don't care.
Right.
Just get the football in his hands.
Yes. Catch the ball.
Just get the football in his hands. That's all I'm asking for. I don't know why that got me worked up so much, but I heard that around town from a lot of people. Flannel, does he have to earn the number 1 jersey?
No, it's kind of a college thing. I know at Michigan it's a big deal. It was given to guys like Anthony Carter, our very own Braylon Edwards. But I'll tell you who didn't earn the number 1 jersey: Andrell Anthony. If he can have it, if he can have it at Michigan, Jameson Williams can have it with the Lions.
Thomas Perry says, I'm not judging JMO, just prefer a player actually play a full season before making a demand. Maybe demand isn't fair before making some noise. Maybe, or at least ask privately. That's Thomas. That's not how things work these days, man. That's not how it works.
I like the flash.
The juice.
I like the juice and the excitement of it. What, like, he, instead of saying, oh, I don't care. You want number 1? Whatever. You know, instead of like, or not. If he's going to say it, it means something to him. And if it's the inspiration, then nobody else wants it. Don't make a big deal out of it. Like for real. At the end of the day, what if him wearing number 1 makes him run faster, catch the ball, and do whatever, and his stats prove it because he's wearing the 1? It's just juju. You know, he feels good in it and stuff like that. Whatever it is. Yeah, if he's your, Ferrari and stuff, aren't you going to, it's like Sergey and the white skates. Right?
Let
him wear
together.
the white skates. The only guy wearing them, big deal. He wants to wear them, right? He wants number 1. I would cater to him more because I want to make him as comfortable as possible. But I like the savageness of, the number's available. Tell them you want it, because that means you're thinking about it. You want, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Ransom said, so if you want a number 20, you'd be okay with it. If it's not retired and it's in circulation, yes, I'm okay with it. I don't care about that stuff. Get the football in his hands. Win games. That's what I care about. Why do we get caught up with this stuff all the time around here? You got to earn the number 1 jersey. No, he did earn it. He's a first-round draft pick. And I will say this, too. Somebody said the number 1 jersey should be reserved for players that make big plays. Tell me this, you guys.
What?
I know. This college mentality, dude. It drives me crazy, man.
Even if that was the point, is Jameson Williams not someone that makes big plays?
And here's where it is, too. I'll say this. Sam Flannel, mark me on this one. This is the first player, maybe since Calvin, and this happens in the games he's played now. When the ball goes to him, you move in your seat and you lock in. It is electric, the anticipation of him getting the football. Is that a fair statement?
That is more than fair. I'd honestly never seen anyone quite like him in college. And he only touched the ball twice, but both times went for 40-plus yards. And one of them was actually a 69-yard touchdown, which was called back. So what he could do this year could just be explosive, as Jonathan Gannon would say.
Yeah, where are we at with J-Mo, by the way? What are you expecting? 1,000 yards, right?
If he's healthy. Oh, absolutely. Healthy 17 games.
So he's going to cut into St. Brown's numbers?
I think so.
No, yeah.
There's a finite number of yards in Jared Goff's arm.
I don't think that they do, because they run differently. Jameson Williams, you're not going to use him over the middle, short yardage, more of a hybrid tight end out of motion like you do. No, I think, and here's the thing. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is still your number 1, even when Jameson Williams your number 1 weapon. But you want him catching, 4 for 80? You know what I'm saying? You want him to be that medium to over-the-top threat to make Amon-Ra Brown more. I don't think he takes away from that. I think he takes away from the other guys.
Honolulu Blue Sparty shares my sentiment. All Jameson has shown is that he scores every time he touches the ball. That counts as a touchdown, that Green Bay catch. He was in. It does. So I'm with you on that.
Right. So it's a throw. It's not. See, do you understand why it doesn't take away from Amon-Ra St. Brown? Because all the yardage, the 7 catches that Amon-Ra St. Brown has to make to the one that Jameson
to those 80 yards.
Right?
Yeah, they'll get to their 80 yards differently.
They're totally different, and I think it's you know what it's like to me on. A little bit, it's more of like what Kelsey and Tyreek Hill, the speed guy, and then the guy who takes over the middle. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown's not a tight end, and he's a smaller guy, but he plays that middle as well as anybody else, and it's tough, right? Because of his hands and his toughness and stuff like that. So, no, I think that they work together and they help each other.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Your mom's favorite skater says, Neal, that shirt is phenomenal. The only thing missing is that it's not tucked in.
You're fired!
Well played, boys. Well played. Game on. Let's go.
Bricked up and tucked. You going to be bricked up and tucked in?
Bricked and tucked. Bricked and tucked. Stoke not scared. Bricked and tucked.
2 Thursdays from now.
Not scared. Bricked and tucked.
5th Avenue, Royal Oak, Woodward Sports Draft Party. You're going to be bricked and tucked, D-Man?
I'm going to be wearing my Stoke Not Scared shirt, bricked and tucked. Yeah, let's do it.
Izzy Powell, bricked and tucked merch now, please.
Bricked and tucked, you heard it. See if anybody in the back's watching.
Yeah, absolutely. We might need some insurance around here with how everyone's running around all bricked up. Let them know.
We definitely might. And if you need insurance, go to Swiss Insurance. Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Swiss can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance gives a shot and you won't be disappointed. Email them at mark@swissins.com. That is mark@swissins.com.
Love Woodward Sports sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog.
Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, BMG, Big Mike Gentry in for Spencer Raxter, dealing with some car situation today, but it hasn't stopped them from jumping in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Spend more racks, bricked and tucked in the waistband. So people want to know, D-Mac, was your shirt just tucked into the pants, or was it all the way into the waistband?
84 or 86%. There's a 14% chance that it might have been in the waistband. But I'm pretty sure it was just tucked in the pants. I don't know who's a savage to go back. Let me do some deep dive here.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. Let me give it some deep dive. Entertain the people for a minute. Let me look at this photo.
You're taking a look at it right now?
I got it.
You're trying to...
No, just pants.
Just pants?
Pretty sure. Although that's a pretty fine tuck line. I mean, gosh darn it.
Look, that is, man.
I think my fly's up. So
This is right before you threw an elbow at Daniel.
No, I threw the elbow taking the coat off. That's why the shirt was tucked in. Yeah, well, the Gordie Howe was in the building. I had to show, Danielle took elbow.
Yeah.
Rub is racing. She's tough. It's all good. No, tucked. Yep, absolutely. Bricked and tucked. Let's go. Bricked and tucked. Stoked, not scared. Bricked and tucked.
Oh, man, D-Mac.
Let me get the chant going.
All right, I saved this till the end. And I know that we... Spencer Raxter says, for the record, my front tire has the same QBR as Anthony Richardson 15, AR-15. So there's that. That would be a 2.3, by the way, when they played Kentucky. I watched it. I've been saving this towards the end. And I told you guys this. I'm going to watch Tiger baseball. I am. And I did last night. I like watching the Blue Jays. I like the Blue Jays. I like where they play their games and everything. So I tuned in yesterday, and it was just an epic meltdown in the ninth. And that's not why I'm upset. It's not why I'm upset. I'm upset at the fan base here. I'm upset at us. Because I've noticed there's been, and we saw this with Dwayne Casey, and maybe it's fair to say pound of flesh type situation. For me, I've drawn that line in the sand. I am an A.J. Hinch supporter. I believe he is a good manager. A.J. Hinch cracked a little bit yesterday in the post-game media session. When I say cracked for A.J. Hinch, one of the things I like about A.J. Hinch is he's very measured, he's very controlled, he will answer your question, he doesn't run from your question, he answers it. And we saw the mistakes that were made, not sliding on a stolen base, fielding interference that results in a run that would come back to be later in the game. But the crowd that's going to talk about A.J. Hinch and be critical of a bullpen selection or be critical of a hitting situation or things like that, I'm not having that. I'm drawing the line in the sand. What is A.J. Hinch supposed to do with this team? Look at these players. Sam Flannel and I talked about it yesterday, and it de facto turned into this a little bit. What could any manager do with this team, D-Mac? Look at it. Look at the players. The bullpen comes in, they burn this thing to the ground, and it's going to continue to happen, man. They just aren't good. They just don't have good players, D-Mac. What's he supposed to do?
But in the front of the book's the forward, right? didn't we tell everybody this, and weren't we prepared for this in the forward, or is just that people in all reality didn't believe it was this bad?
Hold on. Steven Syrett says they aren't getting any better with him. Steven, how? How is he going to make this team? Look at this roster. Look at these players. Nobody could make this team better. That's not a fair criticism. He's not making this team better. Remember when it was the hitting coach? That was my favorite. The hitting, get rid of the hitting coach.
I guess, to break down what he's saying is so I'm hearing that he thinks the ceiling on these guys is higher than what it in reality it is. And is it AJ Hinch's fault who the general manager or who in the past, your guy, brought in for him to manage, because their ceilings might only be 5 out of 10s or 6 out of 10s. It's too much mishmash. And you look around, I said it earlier, even when Sam Flannel brought up the fact that, you'll be able to beat Kansas City, you know what? And then we nail off, they got Bobby Witt, they got Salvador Perez, they got 2 guys, right?
Bona fide major league players.
Who are your 2 guys? Yeah, you got Hope and Riley Green, right? Torkelson, you got Hope in, but Javi Baez, Miguel Cabrera, who's your star?
He's out there striking out, just windmilling up there. How is that AJ Hinch's fault? What's AJ Hinch supposed to do to control that? He's got $100 million guaranteed after this year.
Thing, guys, there's probably 900 more games like this, as it'll start to get better. But what do you expect? This is more of the norm, and I think Sam's going to eat the one word that Sam said that I think it's going to be wrong is historically bad, because you're on pace to be historically bad.
It could get there.
It could.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Spenmo says we're missing Candy, who led the league in doubles. That was a fun bit. Your cleanup hitter from opening day last year for a playoff team that everybody was talking about. Steven Syrett also says cut scope, bring up the kids. You know what? If he's still below 200 by the time May wraps up, I'm with you. Cut the check. Goodbye.
May wraps up or April wraps up?
Whoever. I don't care. I legit don't care who it is.
No, I said April or May.
May. When May's over, if he's under 200 or like 205 or something like that, goodbye. DFA him, cut him the check, get him out of here. Colt Keith, whatever kids I always hear about all the time with the Tigers farm system that I never end up seeing. Whoever that name is now.
Who's hurt?
Whoever, yeah. Bring them up here. Throw them in there, and let's do it, because this ain't it. It's time for cleaning.
You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here.
100%. And Jonathan Scope, if you're under 200 by the end of May, then that's the move that has to be made. Again, don't be mad at me. This is where we're at.
And then if you are a baseball fan, the opposite end of the spectrum is you going, the Rays are 12-0 now?
Yes.
So why I brought that together is because how the Rays were built, we have the guy who built that system. So you can look that eventually, hopefully, we can get to that level someday. But guys, we're still 4, 5, 6 years away. Really are. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
I think what it is the smoke's cleared. People knew that there was crashed down, but they didn't see the damage. Now
we're coming out of the building and seeing that the streets have been destroyed. And we're like, oh my God, who's going to clean all this up?
It's like if you watch The Mandalorian. And in the last episode, when the Mandalorians, spoiler alert, went back to the planet and they all looked down and went, oh my God, it's worse than I expected, because their planet had been absolutely bombed over, whatever. That's where I felt like.
Steven also says there are still roster moves that need to be made. Yes, there has to be a lot of dead weight cut out of here. And again, I watch it, and I'll watch it again tonight. I think I'm broken. I think last night broke me for real.
Ooh.
Like for real. 10 games in.
Like internal injury, like
a fault plate.
You gotta lay down.
Like a tectonic plate.
Like you gotta lay down. Like you gotta step away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Because they lost or how they lost?
Just and look, I feel as though I've been out the forefront a little further about this than most have. Just, guys, this is how bad it is. No, we'll win games against the Royals. People like Sam Flynn. No, you are the Royals. If you're lucky, you're the Royals.
You're worse than the Royals.
You're worse than the Royals.
Might be worse than the A's.
Might be, yeah. I think that I've been further in front of that than most people have. So I think like I'm a little stronger in that regard. But what happened yesterday, it's the reaction to the A.J. Hinch thing. A.J. Hinch is the only guy with the resume around here that's done it before. You see what I'm saying?
No, I do. Absolutely.
Like, he's the last guy that you should
sternum.
question.
You got a sternum crack right now, and you got to step
yeah,
back. That's
like
where
it
you
hurts
got
to
hit.
breathe.
Yeah.
Like living is
because
pain.
That's all you got, and the smoke is cleared. So, but that's where we're at.
That's it. I just wanted to get that out there.
The only way out is through in this case, folks, and it's just going to take time. And you got to have, hopefully the faith that with the guys in charge, and Scott Harris and the guy from Tampa Bay, that we will get there. And somebody said in the chat thread, West Michigan, so, that's A-Ball.
Yeah. Where have I heard that before? I always hear about that. Oh, Erie. Tell me about Erie some more.
Woodward Tigers. Check it out. He'll tell you all about it.
Tell me about Erie. Tell me about Lakeland. Come on, give me the West Michigan. Where's the hope coming from now? And then I hear about them, and then that's the year they hit 220 down in Erie. Tell me more. Go, Uncle D-Mac, tell me more about it. Please. Tell me, I'll listen to it.
We're going to hit, right? Now it's going to circulate.
One of these days.
We're flushing the system.
Yeah.
The system's not totally flushed.
Tell me about it while I'm running on the treadmill at Planet Fitness.
Turds in the line.
Please. Now is the best time to join Planet Fitness. $10 a month. Access to your home club. The gym's cleaner than clean. There's tons of equipment. You're never waiting for stuff. It's the best gym in the gym game today. You're a baller. You want to be a Black Card member? Okay. That'll set you back just $24.99 a month. Like, come on, guys. You get it all. Access to over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses around the world. You want to bring a guest with you? I bring my son in there with me from time to time. Go ahead and do that. Also, it's all out there for you. The tanning bed, the massage chairs. You can do it all. Over 50 locations in and around Metro Detroit. Pull in the parking lot in one. Join there. Or go to planetfitness.com. Guys, I'm telling you this. There are some of you out there that are members of gym. You're paying $50, $60, $70 a month because they have a rock wall in there that you can't use anyway because some buster's already up there climbing on it that you got to sit there and wait. Guys, you don't need a rock wall. You need some equipment that's open that you can get on. Planet Fitness, that is your answer. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel here in the house, and also BMG, Big Mike Gentry with us as well. Some NFL breaking news, not free agency related. Dan Snyder has reached an agreement in principle to sell the Washington Commanders for the low sum of $6 billion to a group led by 76ers co-owner Josh Harris. Harris's ownership groups include billionaire Mitchell Rales, I don't know who that is, and former NBA star Magic Johnson. So
that's a good thing.
Yep, finally some movement going on, and we'll see how that all shakes out.
$6 billion.
$6 billion, that's it. So, the paltry sum. Honolulu Blue Sparty says Dan Snyder should be in jail. I don't disagree with you. Instead, he's going to get $6 billion. What do you pay, $2 billion or something like that for him? So, what a punishment for Dan Snyder to be crappy at his job. So, Hey, whatever. Apollo says they're getting Lamar Jackson. Well, they couldn't before because obviously if you're an ownership group, you don't want a $250 million commitment on the books because who's going to pay for it? You are. Who's going to write the check for the contract to hold an escrow? You are. So obviously you're not going to do that. Maybe they will now. We'll see. Paul Thomas, what's going on with the Packers and the Jets and Aaron Rodgers? I don't know why everybody gets so worked up about this. This isn't going to happen until after June 1st. Because the Packers are on the hook for the money. I forget the exact dead cap number. I'll pull it up real quick since we're talking about it. But the dead cap number that Aaron Rodgers will command in a trade, which is $99.7 million as it sits right now. If the trade happens before June 1st, the Packers have to pay for it right now, which obviously they cannot. They only have $22 million in cap space. If they do the move after June 1st, they can chop some of that off and put it into next year. Submarining their franchise. I love it. I love it, D-Mac. So this ain't going to happen until after June 1st. So everyone can posture all they want. See, my favorite about that, too.
So who's in a better position in your opinion right now?
Like who's got the juice in this?
Who's got the leverage? Packers or Jets?
It depends on how spiteful Green Bay is. How petty they are.
So, doesn't that mean that they have leverage then? If they can afford to be petty?
Yes. If they can afford to be petty, yes.
Yeah.
Because they can just keep them.
So they have, and then not play them, or?
I would say right now the Packers have the leverage, but post June 1st, then the Jets have more leverage.
So the longer this goes, is there a chance Aaron Rodgers is back with the Packers at all?
I don't see how that could be.
Okay.
Could he be back with them financially?
Like
under contract wise, yes. Is he going to play for them? I can't see how that happens.
So they just pay him and
yeah.
Guess who's been sitting in a dark house for a while figuring it out?
Well, here's the deal though. Well, D-Mac, because people will say that, right? They'll say the Jets have the leverage because Rodgers wants out. Who's the Jets quarterback going to be?
Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
So tell me again who's got the leverage.
What?
Tell me again. Tell me again the Jets have the leverage. Because I would say in this situation, in this vacuum.
But could the Jets pivot to Lamar?
Sure.
So, I don't know. It's interesting. But don't.
Your cost to acquire is high, though.
But this won't happen. So this won't happen even on draft night. It'll happen
after post June 1st.
Okay.
There's part of me that thinks it's already done in principle. And you're just waiting.
It hasn't leaked yet.
Yeah. There's part of me that thinks that.
Come on, Tom Pelissero. You leak stuff for us early so we can get the show. Maybe that's for the bottom line later on. Final word.
Yeah.
2 to 4. Stick around.
If Rodgers, if it's spite, if I were Rodgers, then I would just retire now. But he's not going to retire because he wants that cake. And why not? I would too. I'm not retiring.
Cake.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Little junkyard dog for you. Grit says Packers aren't going to trade Rodgers. They're going to let him rot on the bench while Love lays an egg. They're going to trade him. They are. They're just literally waiting till post June 1st so they can chop up the money instead of it all going on this year. So I believe that's what the holdup is. But we'll see. Apollo says Rodgers could retire after 1 year. No, he could. But see, then that's where it becomes with the Jets and the Packers. That's where it becomes the Al Avila Verlander trade, where the Packers will dictate their return based on what they're comfortable eating, salary wise.
Right.
The more they eat, the higher the compensation.
But you think principle's already done?
I believe so, but that's just a dude with a microphone sitting here at Woodward Sports. I don't have any inside intel or anything like that. So, I don't know. What's your take on it, Sam Flannel?
Here's my sort of 50,000-foot view. The New York Jets did so much damage to their franchise by drafting Zach Wilson because they literally had the offensive and defensive rookie of the year last season in Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. And because you drafted Zach Wilson instead of, say, a Justin Fields, now you have to be in this sort of Aaron Rodgers drama where the best you can get is an old Aaron Rodgers for a couple of years. That's always, to me, something that's funny. It kind of makes me laugh at the Jets.
Oh, no question. But the flip side of that coin is it's just Zach Wilson and a rookie contract. So when you boil it all down, is it that awful? No, it's not that awful. They took a spin, it busted.
But you could have had, if Zach Wilson would have panned out, you could have had him with Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, and Sauce Gardner, like a good quarterback with all of them, and the Jets would be humming right now. You'd be looking at them as potential division champions next year.
Yeah, no doubt. I kind of laugh out about it, too, because the Jets are putting all their eggs in this goofball's basket.
Right,
like,
old Aaron Rodgers.
like rookie years of Sauce Gardner. You're putting on this goofball that, likes peyote in California in a tent.
Don't look at me. I'm down.
But you're not asked to be the quarterback of the New York Jets.
Absolutely not. But I do know one thing is Wings' last game in Tampa tonight. One thing I do hope, I don't care if you win, I hope Dylan Larkin scores to set a career record for goals. He's been tied at 32 before or whatever like that. So good luck to them, but we will see you
Tomorrow,
yeah.
as a matter of fact. Yeah, Dylan Larkin, 79 points in 79 games. That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for.
That's it.
That is it.
Baby.
Doing some help.
We'll tap in tomorrow. Big thanks to BMG for stepping in for Spenmo.
Big Mike
Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, my name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for watching Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.